So continue on, Josh. Like, what was, you did that. What was next? When you said it was time to go eventually, whether your
Yeah.
contract was up or not, you had to come back home and repatriate to the United States. What was
Mhm.
that journey like?
Well, it, it it's not like I wanted to come home. I was forced to come home, and this was because of I wanted to keep the family together. Let me just say it that way,
Yep.
because my wife was tired of me being gone, which
Yep.
I totally understand. I totally get. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
But I
long time,
had
Josh.
dreams and goals and stuff. But nah, I'm just playing. But nah, I just just to make everybody happy. I went on and came home, and then one thing about contracting or working in the contracting arena, so to speak, it's kind of like a small community. So you start meeting project managers, you start meeting, and especially if you have good experiences with them in different companies, project managers, you can always find something in the States because they have the quote unquote hookup.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so um once you get into contracting, government contract, it's easy to find other contracts.
Mm.
So once I got back in the States, I didn't find one right off. I took a position where I worked for a small company in Texas that, it was a good company. It was a decent sized company, and I managed their database. That's how I got into more database experience working for that company. And so I did that for a while, and then we decided to move back to Vegas, and that's how I was able to pull off another contract by leveraging some of the people I had met in Afghanistan that were back in the States, and was able to get something new down in San Diego that I work. I work for a current government contract right now, and government contracting is very lucrative. Like other people have said on your channel. I know you say you interview someone else that works for Booz Hamel, Booz, and I'm messing up their name, but Booz,
I
yeah,
think it's Booz Allen. I think it's Booz
yeah,
Allen
Booz
Hamilton.
Allen Hamilton, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well, yeah, government contracting is very lucrative. You can make a lot of those positions pay over $100,000 a year, depending
Mm.
on what it is. You know what I'm saying? So IT positions are out there, and that's why I push it a lot to military folks as well, because they already have that government clearance,
Yep.
and they can get into those positions a whole lot faster than just a regular civilian, because the company itself, the contracting company itself, doesn't have to pay for the security clearance to get ran.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's dope. That's absolutely dope. So, one of the things I named this as well too, Josh, because I know you're a family man, right? And you even mentioned it, right? Like you had to come home. Like,
Yeah.
you you know, Mama Techie was like, nah, you can't,
Yeah.
I can't live like this. Yeah, you providing. We got a nice house, but this is, pops need to be home. So talk
Yeah.
about that, man. Like, what was that journey like? Like, obviously, as a man, I see you take pride in taking care of your family. I mean, that's the most important thing for me as well, too. Right? Like, talk about that piece of it. Like, obviously being in tech and how it's afforded for you to be able to be the kind of father that you are, and so forth. Even though you were, gone for years at times and stuff like that. Talk about that piece of it and how the family unit is strong today because of that.
Hmm. Yeah. So I mean, it was some good times and bad times. You know what I'm saying? While I was working over there, I mean, yeah, you're making a good amount of money, but money don't, the money don't, I don't know, can't solve everything,
Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And also missing out on
Mm,
things, that
mm,
was a big part of it as
mm.
well. Like when I first deployed 2011, 2010, my youngest son was maybe 3 months old. I got back, he was, a year, didn't even know me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, he knew me from hearing my voice over the phone, and because I mean, Skype was around later on, like 20. I can't remember when we started using it, or when I started using it with them. But most of the time we was on the phone. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The internet service, that's what it was. The internet service wasn't that good. So um yeah, it's tough on you if you have a family.
Yeah.
And it definitely built a stronger relationship, especially after I got home, because of what we had went through with that, as well as my wife. Actually, another one of the main reasons I went in on and ended the work over there, my wife took sick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, one of those unexpected things, you know. And so she was diagnosed, and so that was really one of the things that forced me to come home, because just being away from her and not knowing uh, what's going on, because I mean, money can't replace, a person, especially someone that you cherish and love or whatever. So I mean, the money is not in, so I just let it go, you know what I'm saying? And because they actually wanted me to stay, and I just went on and came back home. So
You did the right thing. I'm like,
yeah,
you did the right thing. That's the most important, is having that family
yeah,
together. But talk about this, like, you had to come home and take care of that whole situation. Talk about the how IT has afforded you the opportunities to provide like that for your family as well too.
yeah. And so, hey, check this out, man. The After this, since this pandemic happened, and let me just put this out there, man. There are a lot of remote positions.
Mm,
So, hey, you got, I mean, if you're trying to get into the tech field, I mean, that's one of the things that has actually helped me. And this was even before the pandemic. I've had the opportunity to work from home. A lot of times, most companies have VPNs that you can connect to, and that'll allow you to do everything you can do in the office from the house. So I have a lot more time I spend with my family. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those benefits of working in the IT field. Because at one point I was looking at working at a chemical plant, and this was when I was real young. I don't want to do. I mean, I never wanted to do nothing like that. I remember my dad did that. He did that for 30 something years,
yeah,
coming home smelling like chemicals, and um, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard work,
yeah.
and people get injured at those plants. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you can make a lot of money doing overtime and all that stuff, but I don't know, sitting in a comfortable chair in front of a computer, maybe my eyes may strain a little bit every now and then, so I got to walk away, making just as much money, So IT is where it's at, man.
That- I love it. I love it. So you got to. What's next? What's next, Josh? Obviously, like what's next along your journey? Obviously, you're contracting. You're making
Mhm.
big bank, right? You're out there in Vegas making it rain whenever you want to make it rain. I saw you on your Instagram just driving down the strip, right?
Oh yeah.
Talk about like what's next for you, brother.
So, just continuing to learn, and that's why I try to push that type of content on my channel. And I love the content that you push out. You know what I'm saying? It's to motivate and help people push to continue learning.
Yep.
Because I don't know, that's my philosophy, I guess, because it was, especially since I got into this IT, business. You constantly need to learn because the technology is constantly advancing. So you need to stay on top of it, and that will help you progress in this field.
Mm,
And you can't say it enough. You know what I'm saying? Just get out there and lab every day. You know what I'm saying? Get these books, um, and just take the time out. You get out what you put into it. Let me
mm,
just say it
mm.
that way.
Say it again. Say it again, brother. You gotta say that again, bro.
Yeah, you get out of what you put into it. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying?
I love that. I absolutely love that. I want to do something. I want to do something. I want to jump over to the chats because I know I've been ignoring the chats because I'm having fun, man. It's like I'm in one of those good ass moods today. I feel like I could be at KIT's house right now, drinking some yak right now or a glass of wine. Casual economist says it's been a while since I caught a lie. We got caught that. PBO's in the house. Yes. Good evening. Noah's in the house as well too. Yep. We saw Black America television news, and let's see here. Clifford Dillard said he just subscribed. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Spark says, keep it techie. That's that dude, that Linux dude. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Anthony Anderson said, one question for KIT. How do you get into the DBA space? And what certs if you want to get into cloud?
Okay, so the Microsoft certifications is probably where you want to start in. See, I got kind of lucky because I like I said, I had that Excel experience, and essentially all a database is a whole bunch of Excel spreadsheets
Put together.
collected into one location. That's
Yep.
essentially what a database is. You got your, if you pull up a SQL server and look at the tables in there, it's essentially just a Excel spreadsheet in
Yep.
that format.
Yep.
And it's just a matter of understanding how to manipulate all those tables to spit out the information how you want it to,
Mm,
using queries.
mm.
So the Microsoft search are the best place to go in order to get into DBA as far as SQL. I mean, as far as Microsoft SQL now, they do have
Oracle.
Oracle.
Yep.
Yep, Oracle
Yep.
databases. So you can go over to Oracle. I believe they have some training or certs. I know with Oracle, um, yeah, there are certifications for it, from what
And I
I
tell you one thing,
remember.
at one point in time, Oracle database used to be a lot better than Microsoft from a
Yeah,
speed perspective.
and that's one thing about it. Yeah, you'll see both. That's one good thing about the database space. You'll see a whole bunch of different types of databases out there. So Oracle, they got that new NoSQL,
Yep.
MongoDB,
Yep.
and a couple other databases out there. So, and a lot of that stuff is open source. So you can learn that just by, finding it online and looking at it and installing it yourself in a virtual machine and learning how to use it.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got Teresa Wade. She dropped your chat in there. I mean
Thank you.
your channel in there as well. I appreciate you, babe. Spark says Ms. Wade, thank you. Erica Williams is in the house. Look at that, Sister Williams in the house. I hope you're doing wonderful, Erica. I'm glad you stopped through. Thank you so much for support. Citizen Lou says salute. Clifford Dillard says, but it's a good look, benefit the nation and individuals. Absolutely. So Anthony Anderson said, I sure do thank the Marine Corps for paying for my associate's degree. Absolutely. And shout out to you, Anthony, as well, too, and appreciate you for being a serviceman in this country as well, too. Clifford Dillard said the Veterans Administration has numerous programs pushing veterans towards IT. Seems like it, absolutely. Do you have a link? Okay, I think that's Assistant Lewis. I was in the supply chain too, and transition to tech. Yeah, see, that's another thing as well, too, right? Like tech space is dope, and that's the thing. You could be in supply chain and tech. That's where I happen to be in both. I provide tech to supply chain companies, or not even that. We provide tech for supply chains. That's what we do, and I sell it. I happen to be on
Mhm.
that side where we sell an enterprise software, so we get paid.
Oh,
Anthony
yeah.
Harrington, I was in supply side. All right, I read that one already. You cannot be successful in any organization if your logistics isn't good. That's true. That is absolutely true. Balti Duck says, okay, 2 pieces up. Good to see you as well, too. Earl Owens, peace. What's happening, man? Black Dove 21, what's happening, brothers? We are good. We just chopping it up, and I'm going back in here. Anthony Arrington says, what's going on? Nothing much, man. We kicking it. Anthony Arrington says, I worked in S6 in Okinawa doing help desk work, OTJ. That's what's up, man. As a matter of fact, our brother Kamal is over there right now, man. Black Dove 21, any vets out there looking to the vet tech program by VA, they can pay for training classes. I'm in one now where I'll get a Security Plus, CCNA, and CCNP. That's good information right there, Black Dove. I appreciate you for sharing that as well, too. Thanks for doing that. And they pay, too, based on BAH. I don't know what that
Yep.
is, but okay.
Basic allowance.
All
It's
basic
like,
allowance?
yeah,
Oh, very,
basic
very good. Awesome.
housing allowance.
Oh, very good. Brother Nick Taylor is in the house, man. Uncle Nick is in the house, man. Man, Black guys, man, your career, y'all gonna get some brain food right here. Oh, I appreciate you, Uncle Nick, man. Uncle Nick down there in New Braunfels, man. Uncle Nick, hey, I put San Antonio, right? Uncle Nick, we may be moving down there in New Braunfels, close to you, brother. I'll keep you informed in a couple months. Anthony Arrington, do you have a link like that? 21. All a whole bunch of information being shared. You're a great student doesn't necessarily equal smart. Evidently, you've done well with the knowledge gained. Hey, you know what? I say this, man. Whatever, your high school has nothing to do with how you're going to turn out in life.
Yep.
I just put it like that. You have a whole bunch of smart people out here. that, believe me, ain't make half of the money that KIT is making. And not even close to it, right? They made the wrong decisions in their lives. So, high school has no indication, to where you can ultimately become. And if you have, passion for success and you have your head on right, you can do a tremendous amount of things, especially if you go into tech. And that's why I talk about that a lot as well, too. Nick Taylor says, in Techie, we did pay for the Army College Fund. We paid with our sweat, muscles, brains, and effort. Salute, brother. I love that. I love that, Uncle Nick. Desmond Stewart says, is a business degree with emphasis in information systems the same as N or MIS? Yes, it is. It's basically MIS is a business degree. And some schools just call it management information systems. That's the term. Now they start to adopt to the new change and call it information technology management, but it's still a business degree. And a business degree with an information tech or information system specialty is the same as management information system. Brother Kamal's in the house all the way from the Japan himself. It's late. And what is it? No, it's early. It's very early because I think it is 12 hours ahead, man. It's 6 o'clock at night. So it has to be a good, I think Japan is like 12 hours ahead right now. So it's early morning. Brother Kamal, appreciate you being here, brother. He's another serviceman getting it done as well. Earl Owens, Black Dove 20. Okay. I'm just gonna go there. Citizen Law, I appreciate the super chat, my man. Salute to the brothers in tech. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much for the donation there. Greetings. 8-win is timeless. Nick Taylor says Linux is Unix, baby brother. Linux Tarvos. Even Uncle Nick know the game, man.
Oh yeah.
Uncle Nick, James, the Sandman, BH, and KIT. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, James Sandman. Thank you so much for joining us as well, too. Linux biggest bigger advantage is it is free. Absolutely. I love that about Linux as well, too. Now, the question is that, KIT, one question I want to ask. Let me read the super chat first. Tangeray, I appreciate it, brother. Wasn't about to miss the collab. Good evening, gents. Thank you so much, Tangeray. Tangeray be up in here trolling a lot of times. Yeah. Everybody's still trolling, but I appreciate him, man. He's a big time supporter and doesn't really. Prince, she says, hello, good people. To talk about this, KIT, what I'm going through here, do enterprises still use Linux, or is it? And you mentioned it being very, important in how in the cloud and so forth. But I know a lot of the enterprises still using, Windows. Talk about like, is Linux still a viable operating system? To learn for a lot of people if they wanted to learn an operating system.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more. I guess it's becoming almost. You know how cloud was a buzzword at some point. When it first came out, everybody was talking about cloud. Well, Linux it seems like it's starting to reemerge again as far as a buzzword that a lot of people are talking about. Where you need to learn Linux, you need to learn Linux constantly. But it's Linux has always been around as one of the most used operating system out there as far as servers go. Anything on the web, as far as websites, it's most likely ran on a Linux platform. It's being, that cPanel thing that everybody uses when you have websites, no matter what hosting company you go through, on the back end of that is Linux.
Wow.
That's used pretty much on most of the web. I would say like 60% the last time I looked at the stats. So it is something that's heavily being used, and a lot of people need to have an understanding, especially when you're going into the cloud. And that's what I'm starting to see a lot more is the cloud work as well as cybersecurity. That's something where you need to learn Linux as well, because the most used operating system for pen testers, the people that penetration testers, the people in cybersecurity that test networks to verify that you can't get into it, or that it, as much as possible that people, the bad actors, can't get into your network, is a Linux operating system called Kali Linux.
Got it. Wow. Yeah. So I knew it was a large operating system. I wasn't sure, because at one point in time, you think about it, if Windows is, I would say, put like for devices, for personal devices, it's still the Windows and the Mac and so forth. But for servers, that's great. That's wonderful. And I'm glad that to hear that it is something that it's continuing is a big buzzword. I mean, I am starting to hear a lot of it now.
Yes.
Linux Girl and all this other stuff that's out there, and I really didn't put two and two together that it's still that much in demand out there. But that's absolutely wonderful.